it's Miranda here at Sunshine and Grace, where I make beautiful things for life sown in sunshine and grown in grace. Today we're doing something a little different, but very fun and very needed because I have a huge, huge stack of cards that I have either been sent or I was cleaning out my father-in-law's house. And my mother-in-law had tons of cards there that were like this, kind of not something that I would use necessarily, but they're pretty. But I was like, how can I make these into something usable that I'll actually use that would be beautiful? And so I started looking at them the other day and I came up with several ways. So one of the things that I've done is I take the front off of the card and just, if it's a pretty one like this one, it just had pretty sentiment. Very simple. I just literally ripped the front off, rounded the edges, inked it a little bit, and it already had the sentiment. Somebody wrote "Fall Y'all" on the back of it, so I just left that the way it was. I thought it was cool, and that'll become a journaling card. Here's another one that I thought the card was beautiful. It was handmade, and it doesn't need anything else done to it, so I just literally ripped the top off and it's good to go. Here's one that's going to be a background. One was a cool size, and I love the back, so that made a pretty journaling card. Journaling card. Thank you done two different ways. Here's another handmade one that's kind of simple. I would probably put a sentiment here and a journaling card. Now here's the other one. Sometimes they have writing on both sides of the inside of the card, so I can't really just tear the top part off and use that as a journaling card. So what I do is I cut a thumb notch and I glue it, and it makes a little pocket, which is very cute. You can see I have tons of them here. I'm going to finish some more. You could just tuck some little things in there. I thought that one was really pretty. And then you just glue it down on the page however you want. Here's just a pretty card. I did a top load pocket this time. A couple of those. Actually 3. Here's the other one. I did a tuck, and this was a really large card, and it just looked like a tag to me. So I cut the edges for a tag and again made a side tuck. So we're going to look at making all of these styles today. And then I've got a surprise style that I just came up with while I was going back through this stack of cards. Actually, 2 surprise styles. So we're going to get started. So what you do is you just take and literally just rip it on the fold. Any other time that would just rip like crazy, and then it was just like, nope, forget you. Save the part that you tear off, because you can use that for cardstock to make tags or anything like that, or you can fold it to make like it's thick, so you can use this cardstock. Okay, so we have a pretty journaling card here. It's gonna be this way, oriented that way. So what we're going to do is round our corners. I'm going to go with that middle one. And I'm just going to ink it a little bit to give it a finished look. And y'all, is this not the easiest journaling card ever? I mean, seriously, it's not Christmas time, but that's still a pretty card. I think I'd probably take and put some like glitter on that maybe, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. Well, it would depend on what journal I was getting ready to stick it in, really. I mean, a lot of times I do journals that this would be fine as is. Then I'm just going to ink the back. I probably would run like washi or lace around that edge just to finish that edge off. Probably lace, honestly. I would glue lace, would then show on the front. Because I love lace on stuff. Okay, there we go. One done. Isn't it cute, guys? I mean, seriously, you cannot get any easier. Right. Get that off to the side. This one, I think the picture is absolutely beautiful. And again, it's got writing, but I don't really want to make a pocket out of it. Like I tried and I didn't like that. So I'm just going to rip it off and save that. This one I'm going to cut as a tag though. So I'm going to get my tag chomper. And I'm going to use my biggest corner chomp and just cut that off. And there we have a little tag. Now this is shiny, so I'm not going to just straight up ink it, because if I do, watch, I can rub it back off. Here's my trick to make that work. I got to find what I did with it. Okay. You can take a sanding block, and I usually do, let me stack these back up over here. I usually just lightly hit the whole thing because that will knock some of the shine off. And it gives it like an aged look. You can see it's starting to get a little worn. Then I have somewhere in this thing over here, I was just using it last night. There it is. I have this is a glass nail file, but you can use just a cheap old emery board. And I hit those edges really good with it. And I'm not careful. I like use different angles because that gives it that distressed look, and I like it. But I don't want to use that because that will actually take way too, it gets a little too distressed, if you know what I mean. I might hit a couple spots with it, but you don't need to do anything with your torn edge because it's already got that look. That's why we tore it. And I know that's a rough noise. Okay, then I'm just going to hit a couple spots, not down too much roughness. Okay, now it's vintaged. And now you ink it. And you'll see why you did that, because the ink will stick to all those roughed up spots and gives just like this really cool vintage look. Like I'll try to hit where that cross hatching is. And then I figured this out the other day. Playing with it. Which one did I use? Vintage photo. Okay. I wanted to make sure. Yeah. Vintage photo. I also have walnuts staying over here. Now, you've inked it. Just go over it light. You don't have to scratch it much. Just like hit it light again. And that just helps blend in any ink. And again, gives it more of a distressed look. So there you have a very nice bougie distress tag. Get your back a little bit. And since it's a tag, we're going to punch a hole in it. I am going with this because I'd probably put a brad in it. And I don't measure, I just eyeball it. Well, that looks about center to me. Punch it, and there's your tag, you guys. Oh, that is cute. I love that one. I really like that. I can't wait to use it. Okay. So there's a journaling, and you've got journaling space on the back. So you have a journaling card. Now you have a journaling tag. We have this one that is just absolutely stunning. And I seriously considered this as a pocket, but it would have to be, the writing wouldn't be straight. You know, I mean, like I'd have to have it with the writing going up and down or upside down. And I didn't want that. So I'm going to tear it. Like this. And again, I will keep that paper because that would make a great base for something. And then I'm not going to do much to this. I'm not even going to round the corners. I'm just going to leave it as is and lightly ink that edge on both sides. And you have a ready-made journaling spot or journaling card. And this one would match so many of my journals, because those are colors that I use constantly. I'm actually getting ready to make a new journal this evening after I shoot this video, because I've got that craft show coming up next weekend, and I want to have 2 or 3, well, I think it's 2 weekends. I want to have several journals. So there we have another journaling card, slightly different style. Okay, this was the one that we said was going to become a pocket. That's the one I want to cut the pieces off. Okay, I'll just take them as I go and then piece them together. Okay, this is going to become a pocket. I think it's going to be a side tuck. So I'm going to take my big punch and line it up on the front. Boom. Then to glue these down, what I do is I actually glue the punched edge. I don't know why I do that, but that's just how I do it. And I close it up. I like how this has natural patina to it, so I'm not really even going to ink that. And that pocket's done. These are beautiful cards. I mean, that is a beautiful picture. And when you open it up, it's beautiful all the way through. So what I would do is I would take and I would make this into a, that's a pretty quote right there. So what I would do is I would take and make this into like a folio, and I wouldn't do anything to the front. It's fine. I would open it up. I wouldn't really do much here. I might like lay vellum or something over that. But on this is where I was wanting to show you. I'm going to take it and round the corners. I'm going to use the small rounder. And then I'm going to take and glue and make a little flap here. If you had something that you didn't care for that being seen or whatever, you could, you know, like if you wanted to use that side, you could. I just think it looks like a little tuck flap. So that would be a tuck spot. And then you've got a little folio right there. And all you did was glue a card. We came up with tag journaling spots. There's several of those. Just regular journaling spots. These are glued double-sided. That one's got a double side. It's not glued though. These are tuck spots. Side tucks with journaling on the back. Top tuck with journaling on the back. Tucks, tucks. Here we have a folio made with a card where you just have a little tuck spot on the side, and I'll probably put vellum over that. Here's another little folio that has a tuck spot. It looks like a little envelope. These are going to be, this is a traveler's notebook. This one's just going to be a regular notebook. And this one was going to be made into a folio. So there we go, guys. Those are uses for your cards. That way, if you're like me and you hoard those little puppies up, you have ways to actually use them in a journal and not just have them building up in your stash relentlessly. Okay, y'all let me know what you think of this project, if you make it, if you do it, how it works out for you, and what your favorite one that we worked on together was, if you have one, or if you just have any other ideas to use our greeting cards and our handmade cards for after they have already been used as cards, so that we're not just, you know, so that we're getting more use out of them. Y'all let me know. Be sure to check the affiliate links in the description box for the products that I have used in this video. I always look for the cheapest price possible. I have lost the pen that goes in this, so that you don't have to, and it does not cost you a dime if you use my link, but it does help support this channel so that I can bring you more great products or projects. There it is. All right. And there are some links to some Bible study information and that kind of stuff down below too. Some really cool music, faith-based. I listen to it a lot on my playlist when I'm just hanging out here in the studio, by Brother Scott Mitchell, his band. They did some really great music back in the day, and they made it available. So that's also where my the intro music is from. So I think that's about it. Y'all remember that Jesus loves you so much he died for you. And if you do not know that already, I would love, love, love to tell you about my precious Savior and tell you the greatest love story ever and get you saved for all eternity. Do not wait. Nobody's promised the next second. Okay, so if it's on your heart, give me a message, text me. Yeah, you can find me. There's like so many ways to find me. Just get a hold of me and we will chat. We can chat in the comments. We can chat in private message. I don't care. Just talk to me, peeps. All right, y'all have an absolutely wonderful day. Grace and peace. Bye-bye.